Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence.
The following is a presentation of iRacing on PTR TV. We'd like to thank all of our channel partners for their support. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we hope you enjoy today's broadcast. Another race ticks off on the 2026 Triple Bypass Nichols Oil Pros Cup Series schedule. We find ourselves down in South Beach at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Most certainly a driver's favorite ever since its reconfiguration in 2003 with the 3 tiers of banking, letting you run right on the white line or ripping up right up against the fence. Which line will persevere and whose skills will be put to the test as we take to the track here in Miami for 125 laps. Welcome everybody to PTR TV for today's coverage of the Triple Bypass Racing League and the Nichols Oil Pros series. I always have a hard time saying that, but at Homestead Miami for 125 laps. Today's race is denoted as the Sunset Drive 125. I'm not sure if we're going to hit sunset or not, but if we do, I'm sure it'll look pretty. Gonna be myself, Corey Silva, in the booth and in the production truck. Howie Burrows helping me out as Brad is under the weather and in Florida, and hopefully not stuck with our winter weather situations going on. So Howie, welcome back. You've been quite handy the past week helping me out at a track that I'll say is my favorite on the Cup schedule.
Well, I'm glad you could make it, and I'm glad for anyone that can make it. I know a lot of people are dealing with some extreme weather right now, and thankfully, Florida is quite immune. Obviously, an all-time classic track. Now the finale again for good reason in the Cup Series. Every line is good around here, and you can often have fun running pretty much whatever you feel. I hear there's a super loose setup today. It's going to be a tricky one for a lot of the field, a hard one to handle. Who knows what's going to happen today? It could just be explosive.
Well, let's hope that these drivers are able to spread themselves out and figure out the looseness situation here, as qualifying is what is being accomplished right now. There's Jason Benson in the 42. Let's take a look at the weather conditions. Maybe that'll have some further explanation. It is not the track temp, so it is certainly the setup there. 95 degrees is a warm track, but it is not that hot. Today's race sponsor is going to be Caleb Brown in the 17 cars. We want to give him his thanks and for helping put on the event. We don't have a stage caution to talk to him anymore, but perhaps we'll find time as seemingly we are expecting some yellows here today. And then to go over our point standings after 2 races here in the Cup Series schedule. Kyle Gresh leading by only 3 points over Zach Nerney, hot off that win in race 1. And we have Bossy Williams and Jeremy Brown. I almost beat Jeremy Brown on Thursday in the ARCA race, but not quite, but he's 5th. And you can see Al Corey, remember he was on the podium last week.
Still competitive at the very top. I mean, it's early days, but it's a league where a lot of surprises often happen coming up right to the end. And so I think for a lot of people, the championship is pretty secondary to the fun. But then there does come a point when our people on top of money would like to take home the real trophies that are offered. I mean, they do eventually become a factor later down the line. Let me put it like that. Wrapping up qualifying right now, most drivers able to get their laps done in time. But it's as we've already seen, it's tough to keep the car under you, really.
Yep, it's really going to be a test to see how these drivers will, again, navigate the lines. And, you know, there's certainly ways that you can keep that car under control, but you're going to have to, you know, put it together, get the experience. Maybe the aero will throw you off, but find a way to do what you got to do. But what we got to do is head down trackside for that PTR TV starting lineup. Adam Bossy is going to roll off from P1 with Chad Baer right to his outside. Row number 2 consists of Sean Bradley and Alan Kunman in the 4th spot. Then we have Cameron Kane and Keaton Crothers, 5th and 6th. The next row will be Walker McAnulty. I just had to pause and think about it. McAnulty in 7th, Kyle Gresh in 8th. That picture never gets away from me. Our race sponsor in 9th, Caleb Brown, and Justin Baxter rounding out 10th.
Your pre-warning, this grid is huge today. Everyone comes out for Homestead. In 11th, we have Jeremy Brown next to Trevor McLaughlin. How did I get the first name wrong, the second name right? Mike Serra's next to Brad Kress for 13 and 14. Then behind him, Mark Herzog is next to Matthew Robinson. We have Kyle Dewey next to Jimmy McKee and Al Corey next to Jason Benson. It's more than 30, so let's keep going.
All right, 21st finds the likes of Hugo Ortiz, Kyle Dean in 22nd, Derek Meow Cat in 23rd with Adam Clifford Highline Shaw, whatever you want to call him, in 24th, Keith Hamlin in 25th, Matthew Bull Epting 26th in the Pokemon car, Anthony Suarez going to do his Ricky Rudd out of 27th with Chris Graves in 28th, and then we have Zach Armstrong, Nars Crutchley in 30th, and just to round off the stragglers, Tyler Raylas, Zach Nerney, and Chad Thompson, and got to thank our league sponsor, our series sponsor. I always screw that up as I screw up everything else. Tex Nichols on the caboose there in 34th.
So-called free thinkers when you tell them they're going to Homestead. You bring out everybody, every single person that can fill a car. I'd be there if I wasn't here. But you know what? I'll take it. It's nice and comfortable. I don't have to worry about spinning it out myself. It's going to be a long one, and in a tricky setup with this many cars, we might get a little bit slowed down at the start. We don't have stages. We do still have a lot of pit strategy forced by that fuel. Only 3 sets of tyres over the distance. You should be able to stretch them, but you have to be quite patient for the start, I think, and we will get there eventually over 125 laps.
Well, Rockingham had cars in the wall right off the opening throttle acceleration point, but let's see if we can get a little bit better off here today. The Sunset Drive 125. We're driving off the line. We're racing in Miami. So far, so good as Barney gets the flag waving, and we run off into 1 and 2 and watch them spread out.
Obviously a multi-road track with that progressive banking, so up top you can get a faster line on the exit. People will like to go bottom to save their tyres early though. Could see drivers getting far out the single file from the very, very start. Lots of room to run, lots of ways to drive these cars around. We do make it out as a turn 1 and 2 clean, and Alan Kunman looking to try and get it done on Chad Baer for P2, who has an amazing run on exit. So amazing, he's bump drafting the 83.
Yeah, and that's going to be the good thing here is you get the run off of the high side as you alluded to, and then where do you want to go with it? Do you want to make the run or do you want to stay in line? Because when you get used to that high lane, I mean, you don't really want to run the bottom. You want to keep your lane and make the run happen, and that's what the 91's doing. But Alan Kunman, he's in the mix too. He's running right behind Bossy. Let's see if Baer gets the run off the top this time.
Oh, it's a huge one for Chad Baer. He just takes it full pace because this time he's just spaced on the inside to go for the move. He didn't last time. That is not what you want to do on any track though. Washing up the turn is going to shred your tyres. You've got to stick to the lane that you came in on, and Adam Bossy probably likes to see that for now. He's going to go low. Might not be ahead on exit, but it's a long race ahead. Every lap's going to matter for your tyres.
And that'll be interesting to see because some tracks, Howie, we see a lot of tire wear. In fact, last week's race at Rockingham was the tire shredder 140, and ironically, the tires didn't wear that much, but other tracks, they royally grate off. So we'll see how Homestead plays out and if these line choices play any indication. You have guys such as Sean Bradley ripping the fence. There's Gresh trying to make a move under That's Keaton Crothers. And then we go a little bit further back. Cam Kane in the Miller Lite car. He's underneath, I believe, what is that, the Sweet Tarts car. That's Walker. I literally have to load his last name to try to say it right. I'm just going to say Walker because I haven't fully loaded it.
I did that last Darker race, actually. Walker McAnulty.
Yes.
We'll try it with that one.
Yes,
So
there
one of
we
the things
go.
about racing this track that is so different from many intermediates that you see that are tri-ovals is that because the turns are symmetrical, they go on forever, so you can't really get on the barrel until more than halfway through. You just sort of hold it, and then eventually there's like a point where you can finally get back on it. First time I was on this track, though, I was baffled by just how tight the corners felt and how they came at you. It's certainly unique around here, but it's a whole lot of fun. Every driver loves it. Oh, well, Carl Dewey here right in the middle of the pack where everybody's trying something different into the turns. Look at that.
He's right up maybe 2 feet off the fence, and you'd think that's the high lane, but it really isn't. There's a lot more room to be had. There you can see the Jordan car. That's Jimmy McKee. He won last week's race in the utmost crazy of fashion at Rockingham. So we'll see if he can go back-to-back, but he's going to have a lot of work to do running in the 14th position. And just go a little further up, we have Matthew Robinson getting underneath McAnulty. And just as that happens, meow.
It's a small one. Looks like just Derek Catt around. No other major victims in his way. Might have been contact to get there, but...
Nope, is that the dangerous turn 4? Oh, Nerney getting sideswiped there. Yeah, he just as we predicted, or as we were told there, Howie, turn 4 is the trouble spot here today.
Thankfully, not too hard of a hit for Evo. I don't think the car that got hit will need anything, and the car that goes into the wall, I mean, you wouldn't use the fast repair for that. I think you've got time. But we're going to get the field reset just a little bit because that's a tough turn to exit from on this set. We keep hearing it, and also the sun is bearing down on the track. I mean, Homestead's another one of those tracks that is very often run at night. Triple bypass do a little bit of both. I've raced night races here before. In the day, the track gets hot and your tires just melt very, very quickly under that Florida sun.
Now, I was looking there on the backstretch. There's a big old American flag, and the flags are dynamic as to the direction of the wind. And the wind is blowing at a small rate. What was the exact numerics of it? It was 4 miles an hour, so... but it was blowing to turn 4 in a way that would get you loose. But I wouldn't imagine 4 miles an hour would be that much. But if the setup's that on edge, you know, that little bit of extra sometimes is all you need. Because, you know, sometimes, Howie, the center of a corner, they say you could push it with your finger. That could be enough to send you around. But we do have Kyle Gresh coming into the pits. Now, we did see this in the stage era of triple bypass. But, you know, maybe filling up to get to the stage. But interesting to see a pit call this early. I'm imagining just for fuel, but... You know,
the fuel tanks are still tiny here. They're still absolutely tiny. 55%.
We couldn't compute the strategies last week, so who are we to make any judgments this early?
I think, I don't know the stint length. It might have been given to us. Sometimes the stint length is given to us. I don't.
So you know. Steve McClendon, who is also at Florida, no, he said he didn't do a test before he left. Fuel should be 1 in 50 laps. So, yeah, he just threw a dart out there. But Al Corey had said around 38 laps of fuel, which is why I put 38 to 40 on the opening race details graphic. So, that being said, this would be about a 2-stop race to maybe 3. But with only 3 sets of tires, you know, that will have to be a...
I think it edges on 3 if it stays green, but if the field goes yellow enough, you can kind of skip a pit stop under green by just doing this over and over again. And then maybe by doing that, you can save the tires for later on a late run, because if you have a tire advantage over others on the last run of this track, that is, you're going to fly past people. To me, it makes sense. So, like, if you think people are going to wreck a lot here, just start stacking it in near the back, stacking your pit stops in near the back if you're not making huge purchases on the field, and it could pay off later, or you just end up on the regular strategy and then all slide. I think it makes sense.
Hold on. Sound the alarm here on PTR TV. We have our first PTR TV channel membership that I didn't even know existed, because I didn't know we set up memberships. That must have been a Brad thing, but we gotta thank Dylan for joining
Brad knows business.
So thanks Dylan for signing up for the PTR TV membership. I don't even know what we're offering, so now I feel a little bit of pressure to like do something. But for now, I will give you the thank you, and we'll worry about your channel perks post-broadcast, because that one caught me off surprise.
PTR TV friend. It's quite a cheap tier. I am pretty sure it just gets you a lovely shout out. 2 tiers on the channel. I'm checking it out now. I almost want to hit the button. Then that's going to be awkward. You're going to have to shout me out during the show that I'm on. So
Yes.
you know, that price is the sort of price I look at.
That
and go,
does
I
not,
like doing it.
that doesn't get added to your wages for this event, by the
No.
way. But anyways, coming off of the corner here, let's try again for our first restart of the day. And I saw some wheel spin to the inside from Bothy as Chad Bear chose the outside as the leader and control car as we fire off into 1 and 2. And let's watch them spread out. Eventually, there we come into the shot. Time that a little off here, but see multiple lines at play.
Behind these leaders, you just see how many cars are out wide. They're not really making like big moves. It's just such a big pack this early. You might as well just stay where you're going if you're happy a bit. And the fact that the race is sort of, the track has these multiple lanes, sometimes you just likes the one that you're assigned to. You might as well stick to it. You don't get to go all the way up to wall down the straight, which does sort of impact your entries. But if you can just back it up, just run your race. I mean, it's a long one.
Mike Sara, the Arizona car, so that can has been dented. First Homestead stripe that at least I've witnessed. Here's Trevor Mack. I think that's what we've denoted as his shorthand name. Trevor McLaughlin. I tried calling him Rhett, Rhett and Link, but that name didn't fly. But he said the name is enunciated in the same way, Rhett McLaughlin, Trevor McLaughlin, but we just call him Trevor Mack for short, or T-Mac for those who follow 2000s era basketball. You'll get that one. But he's to the inside of the track. Justin Baxter. Then behind him is Matt Robinson. Will he be able to clear? Let's see if Robinson gets a run, and he does. And Trevor doing the conservative move and leaving the lane open for him.
Good gap for Chad Bear. 2 attempts for now. It probably is going to hang like that for a while. A lot of these drivers sort of going to stay where they are. It's a very long run race. You want to make your moves in time. Once there's a tyre differential between drivers, you can pass, but you don't really want to send bombs on people, or else you're just going to lose out. Running against that wall without scraping against it is also always tricky. Something I struggle with quite a lot, even if I give it a shot every single time. There's so much happening on this grid. You're just picking your favorite looking car, which I do exactly the same right now.
Yeah, I saw McAnulty in the 113 pull a Homestead diver down to the inside of Cam Kane, but he didn't slide up the track. He kept it down on the white line, and that didn't allow him to make the pass. And if anything, it's going to result in a net loss, because now Jimmy McKee is going to go down to the inside, and well, just same thing. I think the line you're going to have to run, Howie, is that kind of dive to the bottom, not what the 70 is doing. That Mike Sara, that is not the line you want to run. And I think, no, we are good. Surprising, very surprising. I'm not sure if that was an admin call or if they've changed the caution in physics here.
That was auto. I'm trying to work out.
Robot Howie engaged temporarily, but you saw him get loose off a 2, hard into the wall there, and traditionally off the racing surface does keep it green, but in this case, as parts dismay off the vehicle, we are under yellow.
Yeah, audience, be very careful what audio interfaces you buy when you're buying XLR mics for the first time. That's all I'll say. It's interesting that was an auto. I don't see it in the chat. I know some other people I work with who seem to believe that all the NASCAR refreshes have come with much more wide areas for cautions to be called, where, like, stuff that was off the track is now considered on the track. Still don't know if this is a conspiracy theory, but I do constantly see evidence that backs up the conspiracy theory. That was quite a bit off, but we did get past.
Let me take a look at our schedule, because I know the track that would answer that question almost definitively, and we will know that on March 22nd as we visit the Darlington Raceway, a track that is traditionally very hard to draw a caution flag. So if that is true, we'll find out then. But that's not until March, and we want that answer beforehand. But we do have pit stops in the form of Jeremy Brown and Walker coming into the pits, and McAnulty. Now we're at 17 laps against. Oh. No, Jeremy, tires this early. That's scary.
Also, Mike Sarah's got the fast repair turned off. I don't know whether that's actually repairable or whether that was a mistake. And it's just stuck there because the league gives you one fast repair and he's there for a long time. He's down a lap now.
Yeah, so that will, interesting call.
I've done this before.
I paid the price on Thursday in the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series triple bypass race. Not streamed, but I was involved in a caution, not of my own doing, and made that decision. Do I run with a minute of repair and then try to slowly get it repaired, or do I take the fast repair? And of course, as soon as I wreck, they decide to stop wrecking, and then half the race I spent in catch-up until I used the fast repair. So I've actually learned, outside of a restrictor plate track, it's better just to take it off the get-go and try to run the rest of the race as clean as you can. That's at least my strat anyways.
That car's reaction is really different to damage than this one, though, because it's sort of in the same league up to the trucks in the sense that it bends and breaks a lot, and as a result, you could have your aero balance completely ruined on some circuits with just a little chip on the rear, and all of a sudden you're just going loose every turn, whereas this car sort of has a very, very rigid chassis. It can take damage, but it doesn't really bend in any way that like affects your balance. It just sort of snaps in two eventually when it's hit hard enough.
Yeah, which is funny because this car basically is one fluid piece of material in the real world. But I know iRacing has actually, I read this, and I don't know if you know this, Howie, they actually had to artificially create braking points on this car that don't exist in real life. So you'll actually see when you do a paint on the next gen, there's an artificial seam kind of on the driver's door because they had to create a braking panel because that's just how the damage model works. Little interesting tidbits of information that you may or may not know, but we're getting ready for another restart.
I mean, little incidents in the back are going to trip this race up over time and are going to drag out the time spent here, but you've got to be very patient up front, really be able to restart it over and over under pressure in order to get through this, I think.
Let's see what happens here in the restart box. Bear is the control car, and there is the jump out of the box, and did the 3 miss a shift? I'm going to ascertain yes, because he really woed up that inside lane, and that benefited Keaton Crothers, who now is in the second spot. And if anything, Sean Bradley also detrimented by that. Now Robinson tried to use that outside lane to his advantage as we are 3 abreast in the back of the pack.
Check so that you don't have to. The free started in 3rd gear. So that is a slow start. I mean, if you want to avoid wheel spin and spinning, you can do it, but it will really bog down your restart. Still in 3rd place, just still within the chase of it here, as behind, it looks like a bit more of a gaggle, just a few cars back over here. I mean, that's running awkwardly close to the top lane without really committing to it.
That's Kyle Gresh. Remember, someone who's always fast, and he's in the middle of a whole bunch of ruckus right now. He pitted for fuel 2 cautions ago. He's someone that we expect to be going for the win, but now he's in traffic, and he is trying to run that Reddick line up against the fence. I don't even want to call it the Larson line because he hasn't run it as much frequently, but there's Brad Crest to the bottom. Someone to look out for as well is Jeremy Brown. He did take tires, and we are under caution. Nerdy.
Okay, it's happening.
Is that the Zach and Zach wreck? Zach
It's
attack.
happening a little bit more than I expected, to be honest. Now I'm at the point where I'm like, it's happening a bit much. That's really unlucky to be on the outside. Wow.
Zach attack. Yeah, he got loose on the bottom, turn 4, boom.
That sucks to be on the outside there, because you don't even really think you're clear of that.
Well,
and then, nope.
I guess it's as good a time as any, Howie, to take care of some administrative work that is within our contract here, and that is to go over and have some words with our not stage winner. That's just force of habit to say as such. Our race sponsor here today, and that is Caleb Brown. Do you have a read, my friend?
Yeah, doing good. How you guys doing?
Good. So you are currently in the 12th position, and everybody is having some problems here. Trouble turn 4. How's it affecting the Texas Pete car tonight?
Track's really slick. It doesn't really seem to matter bottom or top. Middle seems like a death zone, so you just got to be careful with it.
So that being said, you're right in the middle of the hornet's nest. I mean, guys, low, high, every which way, trying to get spread out. What's the strategy to try to get to the front? Do you feel like you have the pace to work your way at all, or you kind of struggling out there?
Kind of struggling right now. I don't really seem to have the raw pace, so I'm kind of hoping we can get a green flag run here and see if I can't get these guys on some tire wearing strategy.
All right, and then one more question. Of course, this is your race. You are the sponsor behind it. Was it one of the tracks left on the schedule, or did you pick Homestead for any specific reason?
Yeah, just saw TVP needed a sponsor and wanted to support these guys. They do a great job putting on the league and giving us all a great place to race.
All right, man. Well, always fun to race with you when I do pop in the track as well. Let's see what you can do here. Still a lot of time to go here tonight. See what you can do.
Sounds good, guy. Thanks.
And we do have, Howie, this may come in handy because this race seems to be trending a certain which direction. We do have a 3-minute race recap on Rockingham last week. Al put in some overtime, getting that race recap in quite thoroughly. So we will have that to play at a later junction in the race. But currently we do have about, I'd say, half the field has been to pit road for some reason or another. And then, of course, half the field still original fuel load, original tire set. And for those drivers, they're about halfway through what they have available.
I think if you're in the top half, it makes sense to hold on to the track position. If you're in the bottom half, just throw the dice on the cautions and just keep refilling that tank and maybe you miss a green stop. If you're up front, you want to keep this one in place. You're going to get a few more laps out of the tank if we keep going yellow as well, and save your tyres too. You know, they're going to take a lot less pressure going this slowly. But, you know, it does make sense to me to see so many drivers dive down. I think I'd be doing it on every stop on a race like this and just waiting to see how it pans out.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. You never quite know. You might be able to hypermile a stint at the end of the race that doesn't make sense now, but the way the cautions fall, you never know exactly what may happen. Of course, if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe here as we further etch on hitting the next milestone of 1,900 subscribers. And if you like what you see as well, we'll be back Tuesday, which I believe, Howie, you will be with me Tuesday, where the way circumstances fall. We will be at Concord Mini Pocono, as you like to deem it. And then on next Sunday, Brad will most likely be back, and we'll be taking these Cup cars down to Thunder Valley, Bristol Motor Speedway. That should be something of note. But we still have 100 laps to figure out here today, and Chad Bear, the outside car, the control vehicle, has been getting the jumps. I expect him to probably do it again in the box, and there is the jump, but inside got a little bit better that time.
A little bit bogged down. I think it was a couple cars back on the inside that was slower though. Obviously the restart zone, Chad Bear, he has everything he needs to just keep doing this over and over. So hopefully no design. Thankfully everybody on every restart is going to start without just spinning immediately. So it's a much improvement really for the field. Few rows are going 3 wide. There's sort of space for it. And we were warned about the middle of the track being a bit of a death trap. So, you know, be mindful of how much you hold. That might be the next one.
Double wrecking. That's Adam Shaw and Mark Herzog. So a double whammy. And are we still not done yet? At least a double whammy, perhaps a triple whammy, but a whammy nonetheless. But let's take a look at Shaw first, because that's just who I'm currently following. He hit the wall. And then, oh, there's the triple whammy. It was Armstrong. Now, where does Herzog come into play here? We'll have to scroll back a second or two.
Is Herzog just like a third bonus? He's ahead of him.
Oh, he just turned 4 all by his lonesome, completely unrelated.
He's the bonus, yeah. Why not?
There was a game show in the 70s. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. I just know it was a button and something that flashed really fast and you didn't want it to stop on the wrong thing. I don't quite know. I wasn't alive for that era, but my mom told me some stories about it. But in the realm of telling stories, we have stories to tell, and that is a race recap of what happened last week at Rockingham, or Rockingham, for those who are across the pond. So stay with us. We'll be right back after the recap.
January 18th, 2026 brought the Triple Bypass Nichols Oil Pros Series to the legendary Rockingham Speedway for the Tire Shredder 140, sponsored by Mark Gerald. The race was broadcast live on YouTube by the Primetime Racing TV crew. This 140-lap battle marked the second race of Season 10 and delivered a demanding test on the abrasive 1-mile oval. Spins and track position defined the afternoon, with 3 leaders, 3 lead changes, and 10 cautions slowing the field for 25 laps. As the laps clicked away, first-timer James McKee put together a composed and powerful run in the number 67 machine. Starting from 14th, McKee methodically worked forward, led 20 laps, and ultimately took control late to secure the win. Adam Bossy was right there at the finish in the 83, coming home second, just 0.13 seconds behind the leader. Al Corey followed closely in third, steering the 45 onto the podium with a steady drive that paid off as the race tightened up in the closing laps. Sexy Waltrip finished fourth in the 27, staying near the front throughout and turning in the fastest lap of the race with a 22.6 second circuit on lap 109. Zachary Nerney rounded out the top 5, completing another solid outing during this early stretch of the season. After 2 overtime restarts, James McKee earned full honors as the winner of the Tire Shredder 140, mastering tire conservation and traffic at Rockingham. Congratulations, James, on your first race and first victory in TBP. We hope you enjoyed this Triple Bypass Nichols Oil Pros Series recap. We'll see you next time.
And we're back here after that race recap here. Again, for those joining late, Triple Bypass Nichols Oil Pros Cup Series here. Race number 3, the Sunset Drive 125. And Howie, we certainly are not driving into the sunset here. We are spinning, wiggling, and crashing into the sunset. But perhaps this will be the magic restart that gets us going.
Hey, if we're here for another 8 hours and the sun sets, the track has lights. So, you know, we have that at least going.
This is not Pocono. Go back, watch last season if you don't get the joke. I see some wiggling off the start. Robinson is the control car because Chad Baer did pit, of course, while we were watching that race recap, changing up things up front. But the top drivers have yet to meet the pits here, as we are now on lap number 30, and that's going to be Robinson being sole possessor of the race lead.
So it's like a competitive chase for the lead, though. Alan Kunman's actually just challenging for this. You're faster on the exit on the top, which usually means that top line gets away with it. But if you have a bad entry into it, it all gets cost up to you. But it's already like, I mean, our race leader beforehand was just running away with it. And he is carving his way up the field already. But now, you know, it's competitive right up here at the front. It's almost so competitive we don't get to look at all 31 cars still on the track because there's so much happening absolutely everywhere. This one's almost impossible to really give a full recount on for everyone.
Yeah, precisely. There's too much going on, and we only have one camera here on PTR TV at the moment. I just could have more than one, but we'd have to raise prices, and I don't want to quite do that. Anywho, but we have Sean Bradley underneath of Keaton Crothers, who is really prepping that high lane. Maybe the highest of lines we've seen thus far without hitting it, but he's right in that dirty air of Trevor Mack there in the 2 car, who's also getting a phenomenal run, and he's going to look to the inside of last week's winner, Jimmy McKee. Will he do the diver, or will he commit to the bottom? I guess neither of the two. And look, kissing the fence there is Keaton, ever so nice. That's the kind of wall tap you can get away with.
One thing you really don't want to do, and I saw Trevor McLaughlin lane, you know, you can go bottom, you can go top, but you really want to stay where you're pinned. If you slide out from the bottom, go all the way up the track, you end up really shredding your tyres against the banking. And that will shred your cars against the wall and the other cars over there.
The boss man's in there, Howie. You are slight robo mode again. But the boss is not going to be happy with that. He will not be able to back up his podium, but he does have a toe. That is Derek Catt. Oh, my potato there. He got loose and right hooked straight up the racetrack. No bueno there. Let's get a perspective from Al on what he saw. Let's see, he's coming right up here. Yeah, he just got loose, and when he got loose, it overcorrected right-hand hook right up the racetrack. Al had to take a tow there, so that'll most likely put him up 1 lap down. But either way, that'll be yet another caution flag.
Am I alive? Do I need to unplug some
you're
stuff?
Here.
I think it was some little. I think the blizzard is starting to hit people. That's what I think's going on.
I mean, it is good. Yeah, from where I am, I'm in southeast Massachusetts, which is about in a 2-foot snow situation right now. So, but everything is holding up from what I can see. But everyone is coming down pit road here, and this is probably the majority of those who have not. This is the majority of those who did not pit before. There still are a couple stragglers that have yet to come to pit road once, but let's see if this is the tire stop for these drivers. I imagine so. Adam Bossy, Sean Bradley, yep, and Jack's going up. So this would probably be the time I personally would have taken tires too, right around that 1/3 mark or so. 1/4 mark, I guess, if you do math.
It's going to be tricky for us to follow the strategies. I mean, with so many drivers stopping so many times, I feel like we have a very hard job to do when it comes to the end of the race, working out who's used what tyres and when, and who's used how much fuel and when. Because, I mean, it's very hard to track that many stints, and people are just million stinting this now on the yellow.
Yeah, it turns that's the hard part of our job, of course, is because we have some rudimentary information as to what these drivers have done strategy-wise during the race, but we don't have the definitive. So a lot of it is just memory and guesswork, and leads to be some difficult situations here. But what we do know is that Alan Kunman and Keaton Crothers, as well as Kyle Dean, who so first, second, and 7th. Not sure how 7th ends up being 7th, but he has also not pit. So 3 drivers still on their initial stints. So that would, I mean, at this rate, you know, Al told us 38 to 40 laps. I mean, I guess at this rate, they could probably go another 10 with all the cautions we've had, if not more than that. But the fear I have, Howie, is that, I mean, do we get a 10-lap run to where they have to worry about a green flag stop when everybody else can go quite some distance?
A green flag stop would be pretty devastating, but yeah, what are these top drivers that haven't stopped going to do? What are they hoping for? If you haven't stopped at all yet, I can see like why you might think that, and then everyone stops behind you. But if you saw people stop ahead of you, I think I would just make the move with you, because now you're exposed to what happens in the rest of this race, and that's going to be tricky. If you get another caution, you're good, and if you don't, then you sort of have to guess.
Yeah, it's good to be on the offense, but, you know, you do have to kind of put a little bit of defense up just against these oddball situations. But again, they know a lot more than we do sometimes. Well, let's see how it fires off. Coming in the control car to the outside. He gets himself a jump, but I will give some credit to Crothers. Probably the best jump from second place I think we've seen thus far. And we do have some massive spreading out here through the field. I see some 3 wide as some fresh tires versus old tires versus high-speed cars versus struggling cars. Hopefully it all works out.
Did I miss something? I'm not sure why Al Corey has a destroyed engine in pit road.
He was the last
that like
caution.
A part of the wreck I just missed?
I think while you were doing diagnostics, he was a bad recipient.
He did take the fast repair. He did take the fast repair, so he's done.
Interesting.
Sitting there forever.
Yeah. He had a massive toe.
There's another one. There's another one.
Oh, Trevor Mack.
We get away with it. I literally heard big wreck.
I heard the deflation in your voice. I'm like, oh, here it goes. Well, let's take a look.
I heard one of the
he
drivers
got right hand
hooked
wreck by the 53 of Chris Graves there on the front stretch. But again, the angles of what requires the algorithm to trip off weren't met. I see some smoke in turn 1. Might just be residual from last lap, but all stays green. There goes McAnulty. My voice was able to load it in time. He's to the bottom of the track, but Gresh is going to have the momentum off the top.
We have backwards cars.
That's Brad Kress
on the track. I actually did just go back and check what happened to Al Corey. I was that is very sad, but that's multiple meatballs out here.
That may have been arrow. Oh, and then look at oh my goodness. That's just, there's been so many innocent bystanders, Howie, with what we've seen today.
You know we're getting an NIS special event on this track, by the way, end of the season. You looking forward to this again?
Well, I'm
looking forward to it.
I'm not race spot, so I don't have to cover that. But
exciting news.
Let's see.
Al Corey has changed the restart single file.
Let's see. Watch this. I think this may be arrow because he got right to the rear bumper and that set him loose. And then look at that right hand innocent hook to both Bradley and McKee.
Welcome to the next gen. I hope you enjoy your stay.
I mean, I was, of course, as I alluded to earlier in the broadcast, we are going to be at Bristol next week. So, you know, as commentary in the box here, you kind of prepare both in terms of what your race is going to be, so that way you know what to talk about, and then you also prepare based on what the track is. I wasn't prepared for this to be this. Next week at Bristol, if there's 20 cautions, it's Bristol. My brain's already there and ready for it. It was not calibrated for this at Homestead, but we do have a very busy pit road right now.
Cautions are so bad, we're getting single file restarts, by the way, which will continue until morale improves. So, that's great. Maybe we need it. Maybe we deserve single file restarts, you know? The
problem, unfortunately, is we've had this before. I don't know if I've had this discussion with you. I may have at some junction or another. The single file restarts, I appreciate it as an attempt to, you know, get ourselves going here with the show, but when the problem lies with the driver's car control, I mean, the wrecks are still going to happen regardless of whether they're bunched up or not. So it doesn't really reassure me, but again, I appreciate the effort because there's only so much you can do on the fly to rectify this.
New incident limits, of course, for the league. Not really new. We told to the stream forum in ARCA, but it's 10x for a drive-through and 17 and you're booted. So we might be seeing some of those come up soon, I think.
And just completely off topic, if you are curious about our other PTR TV owner here along with me, Mr. Brad Dalton, if you're curious about how he's doing down in Daytona Beach, him and his wife both are running 102 fever, stayed up in their hotel, and they're not due to leave until Tuesday. So nothing worse than a sickcation. He actually had to leave the track early yesterday due to not feeling well. So Brad,
I was about to ask, did he at least get to watch the race? And
he watched some of it, and his wife insisted on, we got to head back because you shouldn't be here. And then she's caught it as well. So now they're both sick. Are they going to be able to fly home is the question, because they're going to have a fever. And are they going to be able to fly home? Because half the country is going to be under 2 feet of snow. So it's troubling times for Brad, and we will wish him the best. At least he got to go to Daytona, even if not fully enjoy the experience.
I'd say, I mean, like, I do have like a list of races I want to hit in my life, and you know, obviously European, and everyone's just like, okay, just go to Le Mans. And I'm like, no, I would rather go to Daytona. Right now, I can't do the trip to America, and most importantly, because like it's a really expensive deal. You know, you really need to prep a lot of time and a lot of energy to make that transcontinental trip. But like, I want to see the 24, and I'm sure in my life that will get done. Got many, many years ahead of me. So one day it's gonna happen.
Seen the Pepsi 400, the Coke 400. I want to see the 500, but I want to see both 500s. But again, maybe one day. Walker, you can't load it in time, but he will get the whole shot as we are single file, and I saw a lot of struggling among some of these drivers getting up to pace here. The 41 of Hugo Ortiz in second. Jeremy Brown, remember, he was one of the first to put tires on around lap 17 or so, has shuffled his way up to third, and you can just see how these single file restarts have significantly spaced out the field, but they are already merging back together and spreading out through the corners.
One of the cars, I believe it's Adam Shaw, just, I don't know what happened to coming out the last few turns, but he just sort of bogged down out of turn 2 so hard. I think he bumped the wall twice, that like he just dropped like 10 positions in one go. Keeps it point forwards, which is very, very important for us today. Huge gap behind 11th, by the way. We have this 11 car pack, and we just have a P12 like 1.7 seconds back, which is very, very unusual for an intermediate. That's not usually how this goes.
Yeah, but that's how these single file restarts go, is him, Brown and Nerney having a whale of a battle. Not a dolphin, not a seal, a whale of a battle. Not sure how that animal got that notion, but they're having a good battle for that third position side by side, and still doing a whale of a job there. I'll just repeat saying that, I guess. And Kyle Dewey up there. Again, a lot of this is strategy oriented too. There's just so many strategies at play that I'm not even going to bother trying to discern them all, but just know that there's a lot of comers and goers, and we haven't had a run for them to be able to, stretch their legs and really show what they're made of as Gurney hits the wall.
We can tell some differences now already, though. Our top 3, led by Walker McAnulty, who you could say is having a whale of a time, leading the race with 4 tenths. These top 3, 29 laps done on the stint, and Zach Nerney's 24, and then behind it's a lot of the drivers that stopped. So this top 3 still sort of like they have some time to go on this stint, but they might need to stop eventually, and if they do that under green, they're gonna have a
Kyle Dewey has that high line figured out. Now we're on board with you, so make sure you do it this time by, please. You got to do it. You got to do it, because I'm on board with you. Oh, you didn't do it as well that time. He actually hit it.
I mean, is it worse him going bottom or him hitting the wall? Which outcome ruins your moment?
Well, there's always I would rather have him do that, because there's always the age-old saying, if you run close to the wall and you hit it, it's not going to hurt that bad. So, worst case, it slows you down, which is what it did there, but not really too bad. And Cam Kane behind him in the 37 in the Miller Lite car. Caleb Brown, our race sponsor, remember he said he needed a run going here to try to figure something out, because he's not overly confident. But we do have a battle shaping up for the lead. Jeremy Brown, who is on equal footing to McAnulty there, down to the inside. Is he going to do a little diver? And he's going to temporarily clear, but will McAnulty be able to maintain and make a run? He will. That's Homestead.
If you were brave, you could have blocked and gotten in his way. That would have been brave, and I would have not made you a friend, but I think he had the clearance to do it.
Oh, no, he's loose. He is loose.
Oh!
Save it.
Pinned.
He kept it straight.
I'll take it.
That's
not a Ricky Rudd. But
no.
It is a save.
I mean, he saved us from another caution, which I'm at least grateful for that. Yeah, there is the looseness. He's loose, and the wall saved him from the spin, but you can see the damage to the right front, so he'll need probably a fast repair, but I think he's just going to try to salvage. He's currently where? He's down in 23rd right now. And where is he in his cycle of stops? 33 laps. So, I mean, he's probably just going to try to suffer 7 or 8 laps, but he won't have to. He won't have to.
There we go.
Jimmy McKee, last week's winner.
Sean Bradley just I thought out of that. Sean Bradley got involved in that and just decided, I'm done, not doing this anymore.
Oh, so it was Sean started. So was that a double whammy?
Yeah, just a double there. 2 cars loose, and Sean's just like, I don't want to drive the setup anymore. So, you know.
All right, so there's McKee.
He's repaired the engine, by the way.
There's McKee. Yep, so there's Sean going loose. And then just behind him, there goes a spinning 67 car. And luckily we have refrained from... last week we redacted saying the 67 car, but I think we've matured enough to where we can just evade saying that number. So
67 car?
He's actually a middle school teacher, so it's so ingrained in him that he said he's basically immune to it.
Do even more. We have to do it even more then. Like, that's the point.
I have elementary children, and they can't evade it. So it has ruined my life. We have
doesn't hurt anyone.
No.
This one doesn't hurt anyone. You're gonna let them have it. All right, like.
All right, we do have pit stops. Nerney in. Who is that? Hugo Ortiz, Cam Kane. There's Dewey. There's someone who almost pulled off their Kyle Larson impression into the pit barriers. Al Corey in, albeit 6 laps down, but at current rate, he may get them back. He is only the 2nd car off the lead lap. I mean, I guess we can have a word with somebody because we're going to need some filler talk. We've already talked to our sponsor. We've already played the recap, and we're not even halfway.
I'm starting to see your point about the car control in the sense that we're doing single file again. It's not exactly like the restart was the problem there. We got quite into a run and then, you get loose off the corner. And I don't, obviously there's not really much you could do to grip people to the track more when you're in the middle of it and you don't like the setup. But it seems like it's a vicious cycle that might repeat itself here, and certainly changing the restart isn't going to change what's happening.
I got an idea. Tyler, Corey up top, you got me?
Yep, I got you.
So I roast you more than a turkey on Thanksgiving Day, but I got to give you props. Everyone is self-spinning. You've kept that 160 going straight, man. Talk about how your race is going.
Well, I did somehow manage to self-spin, but I did. As I was talking this year.
Oh no!
Tyler! We're good. We saved it.
God. All right, are you? Can you do 2 things at once? Do you want me to let you go?
Well, to answer your question, and I have heard you guys do roast me a lot, but I appreciate what you guys do for the race.
Yeah, it's all just in good fun, man. I mean, no harm, no foul. We just guys poking fun at each other at the bar, but don't want to have you have any issues again. Yeah. Good luck and see what you can do. Oh my goodness.
That is one of the best moments I've ever seen on this channel.
I'm going to need you to take over on this restart.
That's going into the shorts. That's going into everything, That's content.
Okay. Deep breath. Jeremy Brown is leading. Adam Bossy is on much fresher tires in 2nd. And actually, Jeremy Brown is on the worst tires of really anybody in the top 10 right now. So let's see how he'll get fired off here. Green flag in the air, completing lap 53. And there goes Bossy. This should be quick work, but no, he's going to throw the block down, take some of the dirty air, put it on that 83, but I think it's inevitable. Tires will persevere at Homestead.
Now evens out on exit, and I don't think they'll be able to play that game again. I almost thought they made side car contact there. We're running the top and the bottom. Bossy was quite a player in the ARCA race that I commentated in the last few days, so that's certainly a Twitch car I recognise. Tries high, goes low with the pace. That's a really good crossover. Like, you get the pace at the top line, and then you move back to get the line you want once you're actually faster on exit.
Yep, and that time he just has the speed, he has the fresh tires, so he has enough to make the bottom work. You can see that even with the bottom, even with the top on old tires, 46 was able to acquire a run, but now he got put right in that dirty air wall, and that next gen, as we know, doesn't like it. And even Adam Bothy getting the wiggles off of turn 4. So, and he's in clean air as the leader. I'm looking a little bit further back. Look at the front of Alan Kunman's automobile, that Mobile 1 car. That is not the pinnacle of downforce right there.
You wouldn't want to use the fast repair on it though, so just hang out there. He does seem to actually be going relatively fast in it, all things considered. Maybe that actually gives you more grip in this setup. I mean, I've known weirder things, so we'll go with it.
I mean, oh, never mind.
No, he's all right. It's just the other cars are, you know?
Yep, that was Chad Bear. And there he is. Just took me about 8 years to finally click on his name as he shuffled down the lineup very quickly. Now, who was
that's loose on exit, and then just runs into a car because of it.
Yeah, Robinson just squeezed, which there's the 58 of Baxter. Let's just try to get a perspective of the 34. I don't know why he has an 8 part of his name. I don't know if that's voluntary or what the deal is, but Robinson.
It's a long night, all right? It's a long night here today.
All right, I guess I was going to go to random autocross race cars because that is our copyright-free commercial but you know, I'll spare that. We'll try to go as late as we can. But there is Jeremy Brown. He needed those fresh tires. That's Robinson in. I mean, after that wreck, well, that little faux pas, he may have some damage. So he's 22 laps into his stint. So not a surefire opportunity to change the tires. He may not want to. So interested to see if the jack goes up. We're still not halfway, Howie. Just etch that in. But he is going to take tires. Probably his second set, I would imagine.
This is the sort of thing that would give you a fever if you don't have one already. So,
and normally I would talk to a Dylan at this point, but Dylan's not here.
Even he knows stay away.
Oh yeah, Dylan is trying to talk to someone who's like fun, you know? Some people are serious. I don't want to say that people aren't fun. Oh, Alan Cudman, there's no Le Mans chicane here at Homestead.
I've always thought that there should be a variation on either Charlotte or Daytona in iRacing, which is the oval plus chicane. Just add a little bit of a treat, you know, just throw it out close and see what happens.
They did that in Moonhead as a meme race. It was Daytona with the backstretch, of course, manually oriented, but and it went as you could imagine, because you would get up to full speed by the time you got to the backstretch, going 190 down to 70 while you're 3 wide. I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
Imagine the Charlotte chicane, like,
which one?
Because like that's slower track, but let's go with the back straight one. Like, but it's like a 90-degree turn. Ugh.
Well, one of my favorite roll configurations was actually Las Vegas for the longest time, because when you ran the full Las Vegas Roval, the turn into the infield on the middle of the back straightaway, it was the sharpest and most narrow turn one could ever possibly fathom. And unfortunately, I think that road course variant has been axed with the refresh process. But oh well. But yeah, that was some good times. Those little niche Rovals.
I have found it. Road course combined in turn 7 and 8.
It still exists,
and that is like a 90-degree turn.
Yeah, through about a 10-foot gap in the concrete. Or maybe
why
that
is
was
start finish straight there.
Or maybe that's Texas.
It's in the infield.
Yeah, I think someone did a picture. Someone did a video. I think it was DJ EJ did a video about that. But anyways, we're digressing. But That's kind of what happens when races head down this path, but perhaps this is the one. 37 minutes of racing could be all we have left if this goes green, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Ward Fisher had said 8 cautions was his estimate. We may already be there, but we'll play our famous caution game later in the affair. Green flag is out. There's Brad Kress. I know he was involved in something at some point. I think he was actually backwards in turn 4, but now he was forwards in turn 2 going for the 6th position.
I think a lot of people have been involved in a lot of things. He's used a fast repair though, so some of these drivers up front, they've not. This is going to become a race.
Whoa. As soon as I focus on the 18 car, he absolutely mutilates the wall. Pikachu may have lost some health because of that one.
A rush to the lead up front. Very, very big run down the straight enables that one. And we got a new race leader here.
Look at that! Look at that from Bossy. That'll do it. It wasn't a run from. It wasn't a good run. It was just he didn't have a faux pas there in the middle of the corner. And
everybody's in danger.
Look at the 3. The 3 car, from a aerodynamic perspective, has no business running where he is. He does have the equal tires to Gresh, but. Again, iRacing. This is a story time. Hopefully, I can get it told before we have our next caution. Sandeep Banerjee. Go look up DJ EJ. Did an interview with him. He had a Coke race in 2010. At that time, it was unsponsored, but he got damaged. His car crab walked the rest of the race, but it was fast enough crab walking that he ended up winning the race at the highest pinnacle of iRacing in a damaged car. It is possible.
Was so broken at the time that the car was actually faster. I remember listening to this episode on a lonely walk home in the middle of the night, and it was that the car was actually for some reason faster with this damage because it was early iRacing and nothing really made much sense.
Yeah, it was 2010 or 2009. I can't remember. I don't even know if broadcasting existed, but if it did, it was very rudimentary. But you could look up DJ EJ, who is actually a friend of the channel. He did partake in an ARCA race last season. But we do have, in the commentary box, it's not on the track, but we do have a whale of a battle. Why am I so stuck up on whales here today? But Kyle Dean is holding them up. That's Trevor Mack. That's Justin Baxter. There is Jimmy McKee, who was backwards about, 5 minutes ago. But now he is worked his way into the top 10. Bottom of 3 wide. 0.23 of Anthony Suarez. There's Cam Kane. Wall riding, wall tapping.
The 2! Oh, the 2! Oh! That hurt. That's a yellow. Yeah, I saw that one coming from a long way away.
Oh, we're not done yet.
Wow.
Murray
I was not expecting
again.
it to be that big, though.
So,
that is... Ooh. Tough.
Jeremy Brown, yep, he actually does have damage to that as well. We are going to start dropping flies pretty soon there, Howie, because that incident cap, what did you say it was, 10 and 16, I believe, here today?
And it's 17. It starts with the 2, by the way, bouncing off the wall. It's then the 37 reacting. The 2 actually gets away with it. He slides against the wall, but the wreck behind is just sort of from the other cars having to react to this loose guy. And at that point, why are we flying in this fast?
That's not our, yeah, we're not in the ARCA series.
That red car.
Yeah,
the field is wrecking without you, just got to go for it. Oh, he's way further back. Just keep an eye on this.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was Jeremy. That was Jeremy Brown. He was going.
Sometimes the field is
we're
wrecking
not at
without
Watkins
you.
Glen, but he was trying to go bowling, evidently. He did let off.
He doesn't actually see it.
He was
actually see it.
Oh no, he had the elephant on a skateboard syndrome. It was weebling back and forth, and he just couldn't get control of it.
And he didn't actually see it until that late, and he does try, and then the brakes are demon. So you know what? You're completely forgiven for that. But
yes,
it's just another example as to what's going on here. It appears to be everything and lots of dead cars. We do have our first black flag, by the way. It was Zach Nerney, who was, I think, No, it wasn't that notice. Someone got a black flag. I don't know if he left, though.
All right, I would go down into the other channel really quick and just kind of do like a little group summation right here, but I don't feel like changing my push-to-talk settings. So I tried that one time, and I'm like, let's just go down there and see what the drivers have to say as a unison, but again, then I have to change my push-to-talk settings, and I don't really feel like doing that. So I'm really trying hard not to go to commercial, but I think I've run out. So we're going to go to commercial, and we'll be back for the restart. Enjoy your autocross race cars and perhaps another AMSOIL commercial.
Whatever you drive, however you drive. AMSOIL specially engineers lubricants to maximize power, performance, and protection in your vehicles, so you can work hard and play hard with confidence.
All right, back right in time for the restart here. Kyle Gresh is going to lead them through here as the pace car pulls another time. We're going to start seeing a groove form for the pace car pulling into the pits as many times as that turn has been made, but the green flag in the air once more. Bossy right to the rear deck lid, as with the damaged car of Alan Kunman, and we'll fan off into turn number 1. See what happens. Brad Kress on the bottom of the track. Let's see. There's Bossy on the top. Will he get any momentum? Not really. Gresh had some bite down there.
I do love that we have a janky car in third still. Alan Kunman's front. I mean, to be honest, I do think maybe he's getting more grip from that thing. So, you know, can you really count on it? Although quite slow for the turn, I thought Keaton Covers was going to make it move, but sure.
Look at this massive gap we have. As someone is blinking quite heavily. That's Kyle Dean, but we have a massive gap of 3 seconds behind Chad Bear to Chris Graves. Not sure why there's such a gap, but it does exist almost the entirety of the backstretch.
I'll go investigate quite where that came from. I don't know whether it's just something weird at the start or the likes, because you said this can happen on single file starts. It looks to me like there's like gaps in the cars ahead. Yeah, there's big gaps on the start around that part of the grid, so you're not really going to be able to keep pace.
Well, I mean I was going to say maybe that'll help our racing, but again, the racing that we've had here today it's not so much wreck 'em hit 'em contact that's causing the cautions. It's just the car is a beast to drive. It is very loose, and this next-gen car, with the way that it's aerodynamically built, as we have a battle for the lead, Gresh to the bottom of the track and Bossy to the top, this next-gen car doesn't have, as they call it, side force. So once it gets a little bit of yaw, a little bit of sideways into it, there's no aero to keep it planted, and it just loops around. And that has been the cause of about 80% of our yellows, as we are side by side for the lead, using this Homestead Miami Speedway as it's designed. More banking to the top, shorter distance to the bottom. Who wins the battle?
Not Kyle Gresh.
Oh, no.
No.
When you have the upper echelon drivers in the league self-spinning, these guys don't have a chance.
Yeah, this to me looks like one of the stinkiest setups I've ever seen, and I'm just going to, because like, yeah, Kyle is a driver that you expect to perform, and that car just, you know, it's just spinning, and this is probably not the first time he's had like loose moments out of it. So, I mean, it's a beast, and it's set up strangely, and we were warned just going in like, oh, Al didn't like the setup, and turns out no one really likes the setup at all, because that's uncharacteristic of him on a usual day.
Howie, I'm going to do it, okay? And you're free to join me if you'd like. I'm going to alter my push-to-talk set. We're going to go down into the abyss of other drivers, and we're going to get the vibes, because I've run out of filler talk, unless you have something to carry us for this caution.
Nah, let's do this.
All right. Push-to-talk setting has been engaged. My push-to-talk is engaged. Here we go. All right. Guys, so Corey, I am down here along with Howie. We've run out of filler talk, so we're joining you guys. Who wants to take the floor? What's going on? What's the vibes?
How's the race been from your perspective, fellas?
We're trying to be happy. We're trying really hard to be happy, because that's what we get paid to do.
Yeah, rough night, really rough setup, and we're just trying to struggle to the end. And sorry about the extended caution times, but everybody's doing their best.
Well, Tyler made us laugh beyond anything we've ever laughed before, so we'll thank him for that. But is there any hope? Is there any savior? Or is it literally just try not to fumble the ball and?
No, it's a long walk in the cold, bitter winter in the darkness. That's what this is. That sounds like an author, like a chapter in a book. Yeah, it does.
Hey, Hallie, I got a question for you. Was that self-fid that I had there, was that more amazing than my big crash at Indianapolis last season?
I try not to remember that far back, but I think that's the funniest moment I've caught and remembered.
But just don't ask Tyler to, pat his belly and what's that thing? You pat your head and you spin your whatever that is. Don't ask him to do two things at once, because
rub your belly and pat your head.
Yeah, see, I can't compute it, but it's one to go. I'm gonna go and try to do my job naturally, and let's try not to be here till midnight, boys.
All right, thanks a lot for coming down, man.
All right, gotta change my push to talk settings really quick.
Think they might be dealing with the very laggy driver as well. I'm trying to listen to them in the chat, but there's a lot going on, obviously.
Yes. So we are 50 laps to go. We are holding out on our caution, guessing. Now, of course, in the beginning of this stream, we did have Tex Nichols. He was, as a driver, said that he estimated 8+, and we all grimaced and said, that's pessimistic. It's a mile and a half. There's no way we could wreck that much. But, he wasn't wrong. Of course, Tex Nichols, the league sponsor, the series sponsor. You can go look up the link in the description. You can get your AMSOIL oil sent to you all over the country. Good deals, good pricing, good product. Check out Tex Nichols for your AMSOIL needs. Kyle Dean to the inside. He's been having connection issues. And what is going on in the back of the pack here? We are extra fanning out. Al's down there on the flat. Black flag for the 39.
Black flags. Oh, the checkup is tremendous. I'm trying to work out where that starts, but some drivers just don't move. I think Adam Bossie's one of those.
He would want to move because he's one of the people.
On the inside.
Adam Bossy, remember, look at the front end damage that he has now. He is kind of taking the Alan Cumming aerodynamic strategy.
Every car just sort of didn't go, and that's led to this domino effect up front. We do certainly have a race going on. I do have a mental model for how many corpses we've had, so I'll add it into the count, but I think I've nailed it. But it's top three battle, and everyone else further back, they're not making it yet.
Remember our race sponsor, Caleb Brown, said he was struggling earlier, but he hasn't. I don't recall him having a massive faux pas yet, but there's still 48 laps for that to happen. Keith Handlin going for the lead, and Chad Baer, who I believe he's led laps earlier in the affair. He started second, currently third, but has he led a lap today is the question. He led 24 of them, and he's trying to get that back, but Caleb Brown in the Texas Pete Hot Sauce car, and then who is the car with the Viper stripes down there? That's Hugo Ortiz looking to the inside of Matthew Robinson with Trevor Mack kissing the fence, doing the Homestead line as well as you can realistically do it on the service.
It's interesting that you mentioned Dylan's not here. No, he is instead watching, and he's throwing red fruit that is pronounced differently in the UK to the US from the Discord, which is exactly what he should be doing in this circumstance, to be honest. I'm not even going to start that debate. I'm not even going to try, so you know what I mean. And that's that. Top two starting to separate away.
You know what I might have to do now? I might have to create some custom emojis. So that way Dylan can use them when he's not racing and he's helping us in the chat here. I know that's a member thing, so give it maybe tomatoes. We'll throw some tomatoes out here. All these wrecks. Maybe that'll be our custom emoji. Chad Bear doesn't want to throw tomatoes. He wants to throw trophies. I don't know how he'd want to throw them, but he wants to acquire them. Going for the lead to the inside of Caleb Brown. Gets that with no contest there. And the only other car to the inside is Robinson and Ortiz. He was to the bottom. Now he's to the top. And trying to maintain the spot. There goes Hanlon right into the wall. Not handling too well. And it looks as though the 834, will he slot in? He could have, but he played cautious.
Interesting that the pack has sort of joined back up. There was separation in the top two, and now it's just all seems to have reformed and reforged. Can't happen. Oh, these weapons! Oh, what the? Someone's bones just got broken.
And of course, it was when I changed the shot momentarily, but
I reacted that viscerally for a reason.
Yeah, so the 834, so there was kind of, again, multifaceted events going on here. 834, Matthew Robinson, Caleb Brown to the top. That's the overcorrect side swipe we've seen thus far. And then Handlin, I'll have to get a second shot of what happened to him, but he was all the way down to the inside of the backstretch. And then just stuff happening every which way. Let's queue up another replay and try to focus on the 15, who ultimately was the one who got absolutely mutilated, quite literally mutilated in that.
Imagine just enjoying your day at home, or enjoying the day the best you can at Homestead Miami, and then suddenly you just get like the biggest shoulder check in history, and it probably hurts you for a few hours afterwards in a real car. I mean, like, I know the setup is twitchy, and that's why it happened. But like, if I didn't know, like, it kind of like almost looks like he turned the wheel left. I know he didn't. Okay, I know, or turned the wheel right into it. I know he didn't, but like, that is how violent the movement was from one end of the track to the other.
Absolutely, very violent, and hopefully he has a fast repair, as we do have some more pit stops, and after this set of pit stops, we'll reassess where we stand on the strategy standpoint in this race as we do get to the point, believe it or not, Howie, we're getting to the point where I think final pit stops will be had. We're right at 40 to go, so that, you know, especially with the caution count we have, if you pit here, you theoretically should be able to make it to the end. Interestingly, the 3, now has he taken his fast repair yet? We have the graphic, he has, so he does have to make do, and you can see some little movement there to the front valence as his crew does some work on it. How long has this pit stop been? There's some major pop right there, 48 seconds. Where is our race leader right now? They are in turn 3, so he could probably get another 30 seconds of this fix. That's the beauty of these larger tracks.
I mean, an hour ago we were talking strategy, just so it was almost like, it's almost naive, isn't it? It's like, oh, what strategy would he drive? It's like, I think it has been just like repeatedly stop and expect the race to go yellow again, and just try not to be the one that gets checked into the shadow realm. That seems to be the relevant keys to victory, is don't get crashed.
I mean, usually the most generic advice, but in this situation, the most generic advice is the hardest to follow. But Chad Baer, 26 laps, so he will be due. I mean, it's hard to say, anywhere from 15 to 20 laps with the amount of cautions and how little fuel you're burning here, as we are 1 to go. That's what the blue stripes on our ticker denote, 1 lap to green. Everybody getting stacked up. You can see some 17 laps, some 10 laps. So all those drivers will need to pit at least one more time. But Adam Bossy and everybody who has that 1 next to their name, or even the guys that have 2, they should be able to make it to the end of the race in the infinitesimally small chance that this goes green. I mean, will I win the $2 billion Powerball, or will this race go green? The odds are basically the same.
Are we having fun? Let's go to ask that to everybody in the chat as well. Like, are we all having fun?
I ruined this by saying that this was my favorite track, and it still is my favorite track. Every track has an anomaly. Just because this race is bad, this race is on the setup, it's on the drivers. I mean, it kind of is, but it's mainly on the setup. And Homestead is still my favorite track. It is marred, but not ruined. But the green flag back in the air. And let's see if we have that amazing halfway split. We do. Tex Nichols, I think he is going to be the separator of sorts of about a second. And you could see, look at that. I don't know if you caught that, Howie. He just stopped there, and that caused Bossy. You can literally see Bossy stomp on the brakes.
I mean, there's been quite a few of these checkups, and Bossy's been involved in some of them too. So a little bit more the same when it comes to these tricky single file starts. It's one of the things about the single file starts is simply there's just more cars that can go wrong in their reaction. Because you're lining up 30 cars in a row. We'll make it 27. We actually haven't lost that many from the race, all things considered, which I think is a minor miracle. And maybe it's just a testament to the next-gen durability. Who knows?
But what we are, I mean, we don't have, iRacing doesn't transmit the number of incident points that the simulator has granted them via getting in incidents, hitting cars, going off track. That number is not visible to us, but with 10, you're into the pits for a drive-through penalty. With 17, you're on the hauler for next week's race. And so many of these drivers have to be on their last incident racing with as much finesse to be clean as possible, but we just don't have a way to know, but we can only imagine.
Terrifying numbers, even more.
That is Alan Cunman.
I just start a sentence, and it's like, might as well just give up, you know, on the sentence.
I mean, we could just do this race kind of middle of the night, 24-hour race, quiet. Just let the pitchers do the talking. Again, when you have, this was our ARCA champion from the last season of the ARCA series. When you have the upper echelon drivers, and I'm not trying to roast, you know, other drivers in this situation, but when you have the upper echelon drivers wrecking, that's how you know that this is just, you know, the regular people just don't have a chance.
The series uses a custom setup for each race. I am not going to name who, because that's particularly harsh, but I'm probably not buying their setups. So I'm just...
Oh, you know,
I'm not going to say it.
Setup shop like, drama on iRacing, you know, that doesn't ever happen.
You know, just because I'm not going to throw someone under the bus, but it does seem hard out there.
And you could see a split bag, or is it split? It seems as though everybody is coming to the attention of their crews right here. Except, actually, is anybody on the track? Maybe the drivers that stayed out last time, but those drivers may have been involved in a wreck.
What's wrong with a little bit more fuel?
Keaton Crothers staying on the racetrack. He was one of the ones to stay out last time by, but everybody else coming to the pits. I mean, don't ask who has how many tires left or anything like that. We have really no way to know, but these drivers really want to get those repairs done, because remember, this is a season-long championship. This is Winston Cup style. No chase, no playoffs, no anything. This is au naturel. As much as can be. That choice was made at the end of race 1. We had a 3-race playoff up until the completion of race 1, and then when race 2 hit, That was when NASCAR made their 2026 championship announcement, and we got a quick retroactive addendum that, nope, not doing it. So this is a Winston Cup playoff, so you can't spare any bad race. It will put you out.
I'd hate to put someone on blast, but I'm just going to say drivers are given notes before the race, and the setup note said this Homestead setup is designed to be stable and raceable across multiple lanes.
Staples.
Oh, well.
Also, was the person who made that note the person who is in Florida right now?
I don't know. Maybe Brad set this up.
Yes, Brad set us up for failure.
He enjoys playing with us.
No, Brad is fighting for his... I don't want to say fighting for his life, but Brad...
If you're watching, I hope you get well soon.
So, I'd say next caution, Howie, we will play our caution game. So if you are one of the 20 some odd people watching this stream live, put your guesses in chat. What is our live caution count as of now? I haven't checked. Howie hasn't checked. We're going to guess together, and the winner gets absolutely nothing except a PTR TV virtual high five, and maybe I will put together some custom emoji for winning. I don't know. Now I have pressure. We have a channel member. I have to keep the channel member happy here. So we gotta work here and come up with some cool things. But hopefully, as a cool thing, we can have some good green flag racing to the end. I know, quite laughable, but we can hope. Keaton Crothers, Kyle Gresh, who was just spun out about 10 laps ago. He's in second. Let's fire off.
I have an internal count. I didn't count the whole time, but I made an estimation of been counting since then. I think I'm on the money. I better be. That's all I'll say.
I'll go first, so that way you can't just say that I'm cheating and trying to undercut you Price is Right style. But in the back of the pack, we have, who is that side by side? Justin Baxter, who may be one of the few to not have a self-induced mistake today, but just for saying that, I'll probably call... you gotta be kidding. You gotta be kidding me. You have to be flipping kidding me. That did not just happen. I refuse to accept that just happened. I refuse.
That was your fault.
I refuse.
That was your fault.
What in this? Is it a full moon? I can't tell because the snow is too hard.
One of the few drivers that hasn't had a...
I couldn't even finish the bloody sentence. And I just frustratingly cut live in the middle of the spin, but you saw what happened. You caught it live. Didn't need to see it twice.
I don't know if I can make it through this anymore. I'm just laughing too much.
Okay, so we got a couple guesses in chat. Howie, I'll go first because, again, I don't want to feel like I'm just undercutting you and cheating because Brad always thinks that I just one up or one down him. I'm going to go with a nice round 10.
I think we've had one more. I think it's 11.
So you are going with
10 before
you're
now.
Going with Willie G in our YouTube chat. Survey says I should make a sound effect for that. I don't. 13.
Ouch.
For 35. So that is 35 times 2 is 70 times 105. So over 1/3 of this race has been behind the Mustang pace car. Not Mustang, the generic sedan pace car.
We, of course, have to play the game of the end at the end of did the pace car lead the most laps? That's always a classic. Could be true. Okay.
Well, what I do know is that the pace car doesn't transpose dynamic track physics because literally at this point I would expect to see a groove for the right-hand turn into pit road. So we've learned that the pace car doesn't actually affect the physics, but it hasn't ran out of fuel. It has 0 incidents. I'm sure someone can go up there and invisibly tap, maybe try to give it a 1x so it fits in.
That fastest lap by Chad Bear, notable for being one of the only green flag laps of the entire race. So pretty undefendable title, really.
I mean, our longest stretch of green flag racing, I would be hard pressed to believe we've gone 10 laps. Maybe once, but I don't have much confidence in that. It's not really a statistic we can see without having the final results page, but I would be hard-pressed to believe we've gone more than 10 laps. So you could almost say this is like a 2008 Brickyard 400, but instead of tire failures, it is just car failures, driver failures, setup failures, whoever you want to put the blame on.
Well, I know what this is. So iRacing is simulating the Snowmageddon. They put a little bit of ice all over the track, and now we're dealing with that.
I don't even want to know what it looks like outside right now. At my house, there was a 2.5-foot snowdrift next to my car, and that was circa the beginning of this broadcast, and we are still due for heavy snow bans for about an hour and a half, so for all I know, I won't even be able to see my car when I go outside, which, at the rate these guys are going, I don't think they want to see their cars either.
I mean, first survivor to the end is really the one. I don't think we've seen a DQ, by the way. I do not think we've seen it.
If it was possible to call it, just to literally type T in chat and call it truce and end the race early, I almost guarantee that these drivers would probably in unison agree to end this race early right now. I don't think they are having fun in the slightest, but again, that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I mean, this is, of course, to a extreme degree, but it happens, and hopefully it doesn't happen as drastically next week at Bristol, because I don't think I can deal with 2 caution fests in a row, but some say that's more entertainment when it happens that way.
Is it entertainment? Just remember that it's 3:30 a.m. for me. Okay?
Oh my goodness!
Just remember.
The fact that you go to bed and I probably wake up at the same actual local time. Just, you Brits are crazy. I had British friends and played games with them. I would go to bed before them. But you folk are some crazy people. I don't know how you do it, but I don't know how we're doing this, and I don't know how the drivers are doing it, but we're all doing it, but we're not doing it well. Green flag in the air, 30 laps to go. We can finally see the light on the end of this race. I see drivers going down to the apron in the back. I think that was Jeremy Brown, who is on the lead lap after having a couple faux pas, a couple wrecks, leading some laps. He wants to get through the field. Kyle Gresh, remember, he's had a spin. I am not going to comment on anybody's race status because I am an instant curse here today.
He has objectively spun the car once, so if that happens, there we go. I made it out of corner exit. That's me cleared for now. Big gap behind this top 3. Boss is going to make the move to the bottom. If there was more pace, they'd be running 3 lanes. I mean, that middle lane's dangerous. I'm amazed that Gresh is still just holding on to it. That seems to have been where there have been problems, but we're good for now.
That is the 19 degrees of banking there in the middle, which interestingly you'd think would actually be the most advantageous groove because the top has been run a lot. It's hot. It's rubbered up. The bottom has been run a lot. It's hot. It's rubbered up. And Bossy saved it. Ricky Rudd save of the race. Save of the race. Almost, not quite. Oh. He's keeping it on the blue, which means we stay green, except not. So definitely your logic is becoming more sound with the caution triggers being widened here. Post.
I checked the rest of the track. I don't see anything else that happened that might have caused that. How you can fall from the top with just one corner.
So here's something we haven't done yet. And I really don't think that there's any way you could have a confidence level in this decision, but how do you pick a favorite out of the field right now to say that they are going to win this race? How do you pick a favorite?
Take someone between 10th and 20th and then roll a D10 dice for them.
Why 10th and 20th? What's wrong with first through ninth?
I'm just counting the top 9 out. They're going to wreck. So it'll be somewhere in the middle.
I hesitate to make this statement, but we've only had one commentator curse spin out under caution flag, so I don't think Keaton Crothers will fall into that same category. Has he had an issue today?
Do you want me to go look? I mean, I can do this.
I don't recall. Let's just ask him.
I'm working on this.
All right, Keaton, so first off, you got to read?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I have commentators cursed about 4 drivers here today, and I don't want to do it to you. I don't recall you having a self-induced issue here today. I called it out on Baxter, and he literally spun out before I finished my sentence. Have you had an issue tonight?
Well, not yet, but now you're doing it to me. What the hell?
He's done it to you.
No, you did yourself in at Portland last year. I'm still trying to make that happen for you to get yourself a win. But in all seriousness, man, this race has just been a train wreck. I think everyone agrees with that. What is the strategy to if not win the race, at least just finish it in one piece?
I'm just making this fuel last year, see if I can get to the end. See if I can keep Kyle behind me. He's pretty fast, so. But yeah, just stay alive is really the option tonight.
So what you're saying is it's just BG's mode, and we just got to stay alive, man. So.
Unfortunately for you boys, yes.
Yes, but I can't play the song, otherwise copyright restrictions. But let's see what you can do. I know you got 6 more laps than everybody else, but at the rate you're going, probably isn't going to be too bad, man. Good luck. And if you spin out,
Thanks,
I'm not
fellas.
liable.
Yeah, right.
If he has an issue, I'm going to cut the feed live and this. The end of the
just
race.
mute yourself and I'll commentate the end. It's okay.
Right.
Just click focus on crashes and you can just step away.
So somehow I don't know how my water has made the entire broadcast. I thought I would have ran out ages ago, especially because we've only done one commercial. I've been very nice to you folks at home today because we've done enough.
Remember, by the way, my sponsored races haven't hit the schedule yet. So, you got late February, it's all over for all of you. If last season is any indication, this is tame.
And again, just as a little schedule forecasting, we have Bristol next week. We'll be off for the Super Bowl, thank goodness, on February 8th. Then we head to Daytona. Howie will take over as a sponsored driver at Atlanta, and it's not Legacy Atlanta, it is Super Speedway Atlanta. Watkins Glen, Phoenix, and then another 1.5 miles, but a slightly more normal 1.5 miles. Las Vegas. I look forward to that one. But
well, that's mine, so you should stop now.
I looked forward to this one, so I don't know if I should look forward to Las Vegas. But luckily, we have 2 months and likely a build in the process of that happening. So, but 24 laps to go. We are within the final 25 laps. There was a clever verbiage of English there that I couldn't come up with, but anyways, green flag back in the air, but for how long?
Don't be that pessimistic.
I mean, find optimism. Is there optimism pills? I will gladly OD on them right now.
I'm having fun.
I'm having fun in a very off-kilter way. You could put it that way, but here's Chad Baer to the inside of Kyle Dewey, who has managed to run pretty decent. He's survived, and he's hit the wall plenty of times, but again, he's running the high lane, so running the high lane, hitting the wall, it doesn't really do too much, but we are almost side. Gresh took a look. Now he's doing the dive to the bottom of the track, which is very risky, especially once you slide through the banking transitions. This is what gets everybody loose. And he did back off and run it a little bit conservative to keep it in one piece.
I'm watching this top 2 in case, something happens. And I've seen Kyle Gresh just a little bit slippy and slidey on corner exits. And I'm like, oh, don't do it again. You made it all the way back up to P2. You're fast here. I don't want to have my heart broken into,
Speaking of working back up from field, Jimmy McKee, they were all stacked up against the fence, and he decided to rip the bottom, gain 2 spots. And here goes Keaton Crothers nearly into the wall there, had to lift to evade the wall. And now he still maintains the position. And for every time there, Howie, that he keeps Gresh bound up on the bottom, that's using Gresh's tires. That's putting Gresh in a more risky position. And eventually that should work into Keaton's favor.
The best way to top off this race would be an incredible battle to the end. So I am holding out for the 2 of these to keep this deal going and to keep us excited to the end. Let's not be cynical. We had a great race at finish at Rocky and Minarka.
Yes.
We're going to have a great one here.
I mean, it could just pull it out of the card. Sometimes the best way to get over a terrible main course is a delicious dessert here, and a delicious dessert in the form of a fabulous finish. I will take it. I will take some burnt Brussels sprouts, and I don't know, I'm trying to think of something else that I don't like offhand, but if it's a gorgeous piece of cheesecake, you know what, maybe it was all worth it nonetheless. But Brad Kress, Cam Kane side by side, some great battling within the top 10 right now, still going for the lead. Actually, Gresh lost a bunch off of 2, so that'll give Crothers a little bit of advantage, and maybe that scrubbed some of the newness off of Gresh's tires, giving a little bit more longevity to Crothers.
Bonham's going to struggle for pace at the end of this race. If you're looking to try and get the job now, you have 10 minutes of green flag running to do it. I mean, do you just sort of hold up and hope for the last 2 laps, or do you try and get ahead right now and claim that top lane for yourself? Both pretty viable. I don't know what I'd do in the position, but what I do know is Chad Bear's catching.
And guess who's back? Back again. Chad Bear's back, and tell a friend, because he's right there. Look at that run to the wall by Crothers. I mean, it looked really good. It wasn't fast, and that's what allowed Gresh to close right back in, right back to where they were side by side. And big diver to the inside for Gresh, trying to clear. Now here is the big pivotal moment. Does Crothers have enough? He's sideways, but he keeps the momentum, crosses to the bottom. Does he have the car? Will he do a diver to the inside?
I have another yellow. There's a wreck in the back. Car sideways.
Who's going to be the leader is the question. I mean, we're going to be going to scoring loops as to who the leader is, but the wreck was Anthony Suarez in the Tide ride.
Looks like going to have a self-spin off the corner, but it's a hard hit onto the inside.
Looks like Crothers is going to be the leader off of this, and that would have been by a whisker. So that is the wreck. Oof, yeah, that wall has had a hard moment right there, and it's just really hard to tell. I'm very curious. I guess right here on the racetrack. Now let's get a relation to Suarez. So, yeah, I guess roughly at this point, it's not time-coded exactly, but close enough that Crothers probably was ahead entering turn 3 there. And that's huge because the inside car, which is probably going to be Gresh on the restart, typically at a massive disadvantage.
Here's an interesting question. How many spins have we seen from the top? We've seen a...
what in the...
No.
What? Wait.
No.
What?
My heart can't take any more of this.
He was so slow that when he got on the gas, the car looped around. And then where is the 41 involved in this? Did he do the same thing? Because he was, when you're stopped like that, what it basically does is...
Roberts is in pit road.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, he's already lost positions. He's on older tires, but the silver curse...
Do you not get your places back if we do it under yellow?
I think it just... it gives you some grace, but I think at some point it does boot you back. But I guess the silver curse is in full bore here today. Who else do I want to tag?
Shall we repeat the question? Has anything bad happened to him this race? That's a new one.
No, if you want to drag him up, I'm keeping my mouth shut. If you want to do an interview, I'm keeping my mouth shut.
All right, I'm going to quickly handle this. All right.
Oh, no,
I'm hiding. Really quick question: has anything bad happened to you this race now?
You guys owe me.
It's not my problem. I'm not going to say anything else. But
case of beer at least.
Is there a reason you had to stop there? Out of interest.
To stop at the pits?
Yeah.
Just embarrassment, really.
Okay. Well.
He was wondering if iRacing gave you your spot back, or if that was kind of a it forced you to the back, so why not type thing.
Yeah, I don't actually know. It seemed like it forced me to the back.
It's been a hard day.
Don't deserve to be up there anyways after that.
Well, again, as I said at the end of that, I don't take liability.
That's okay.
Good luck, bro.
Thank you.
I hesitate to even say any further words for the last 14 to 15 laps of this race, but unfortunately, or fortunately, I have no choice because that's in my contract. So we will make this happen. Kyle Gresh, again, one of the upper echelon drivers here in Triple Bypass. He has also not been immune to issues, as really has anybody else in the field. I would love to see who the cleanest driver on the incident list is after this race. That may be something of we can do in the post-race, but look at Chad Bear. Got the restart of his life from second place, looking right to the outside. That's not going to work necessarily, but it could give him a good run off the corner and maybe set something up. Not quite. They were still up to speed yet, so the outside did not persevere, but now they're fully up to pace right now. And we'll see, but look at Jimmy McKee. Cameron Kane. Remember, he won Atlanta last season in the photo finish, but he has survived, and that was a wiggle by Gresh, or maybe trying to break the draft. Kind of hard to tell.
So I do go back to the question I asked, has anyone really spun from the top? Because most of it has been happening from drivers transitioning up from the bottom. That's been like 90% of the self-spins I see, which means if you want to hold on to this race lead, I suggest just hugging that wall, no matter how unconfident you are, and just staying there. I think that puts the least into the setup. It's when you're transitioning out of that bottom where all these incidents are happening.
Yeah, the setup clearly very loose, so when you go through those 2 or 3 different banking transitions here at Homestead, obviously it's, as we like to say, de-wedging the car, which is what it does, but you can see running on the bottom, this has been the trouble spot, merging back up through those different bankings, and then there you go, case in point. Gresh gets loose, Gresh gives up the lead, nearly sideswiped Bear with the crossover move, luckily missed, but crossover move, and he's right back there in the danger zone.
McKee's back in this. Oh, Gresh goes below the line. He's lost all grip out of that thing. Keeps it pointed forwards in this race, but well and truly out of the win. Now it's between McKee and Bear. McKee sort of ended up his way into this battle, but that bottom line, I never trust it. I cannot trust that bottom line right now.
And right now, again, Jimmy McKee, he wants to go for back-to-back wins. He kind of stole the race at Rockingham the way that it came to... Actually, no, that was the... I don't even remember how it worked out. No, he did, because Steve McClendon had that race wrapped up, and it turned into a poop show at the end, and somehow the 67 took the flag there. But he wants to win this race on a little bit more merit, and I think he is in position to do so. But then he's on that inside, and then there you go. It's just unavoidable. Once you're down there on that seam, you get loose. You cannot save it.
And then that's another car that sort of dropped out. We have very, very few laps to go. Less than 10. Kane is hugging that wall, but I don't think there's space. Cabert's going to slide up right in front. Gresh is struggling again, by the way.
Yeah, he's down there all the way down to that blue pavement there.
Maybe those tires are overcooked.
That is a high line right there. He got within 3 inches of it, pushed that aero bubble as high as it'll go, and oh no, Jimmy McKee. And then Adam Shaw in the background.
I don't think any car's going to die to this. I mean, more cars are going backwards all over the place, but looks like everybody's staying out of walls, but that's wins lost again. I mean, we're doing synchronized skating in the back here, by the way. Like the way both of these cars sort of flick around at the same time.
But the 67, he got loose at a normal point. Adam Shaw, who was in 10th, by the way, and actually is still being registered in 10th, he spun out at a really weird point. And from the top, mind you, that's where you said was the safe zone.
Yeah, well, nothing makes sense anymore.
Oh, wait, it wasn't Adam Shaw. Who was it then? It was...
I appreciate, though, when both of those cars just sort of do that second spin, they're synchronized. It's like synchronized ice skating.
Right, who was that other car? You have telemetry powers. Who was it?
Well, Chris Graves.
Chris Graves, there we go. I did, yeah, he spun out in a more weird way, but at this point, I don't feel like searching for it, to be honest with you. But because we saw most of it live, but this will put us into where single-digit laps to go. Probably go green with 6 to go. Gresh coming in. He must have a set of tires on the wall. Because at this point, I mean, what else is there to lose? And then let's just bring up the point standings just for, you know, gags right now. Kyle Gresh, the points leader. Zach Nerney, he's well out of this race. Adam Bossy, he is in 5th, so he's in good position. Dan Williams, I don't think is here today. Jeremy Brown, he's in the top 5. He's worked up. Al Corey, well out. Gerald not here. Baxter, I cursed him. McKee and Dewey. Well, obviously McKee, we just saw him. And Kyle Dewey, he is still in the top 10. So early season points shuffles will certainly happen after this one.
Maybe we'll just add all the points. We'll just say, no, don't need them for today.
Just scratch this race and just say it's a drop week.
Imagine if we imagine like the hypothetical situation where 1, we're still doing playoffs, and 2, this is the finale.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, this would just cancel. They would just cancel the race and rerun it the following week and say, yeah, we lied about that.
Yeah, we're going to do it in street stocks now, just because you guys might be able to handle those.
Maybe even though the track looks dry, that we're actually running with rain physics by mistake right now, and that could be our excuse behind all of this.
It's the snow. It's the ice. We are early beta testers of ice racing.
Everybody
did you
wonders.
know the NASCAR Euro Series a few years ago wanted to do an ice race. For some reason, it just fell through, and then they haven't come back to the idea. But they really wanted to do like a Nordic ice race.
One of the good friends that I met in the very beginning of my iRacing infancy, he actually is a flagger and does ice racing. The fact that they do short track racing on a frozen lake, just brain does not compute racing on a frozen lake, but ice is very strong. And it is a thing that actually exists in the Northeast quite a bit. And probably it's in its glory after what's going on in America these days with the deep freeze. As I know, Chicago, the high temperature was in the negatives, but we also are worrying about global warming. So let's make 2 things come together into one. But 5 laps to go. Worth noting that 3 green-white checkers are applicable and ready to be offered if the need exists, which...
How exciting.
Yeah, just in case that this hasn't been fun, we can just have even more fun if the need avails. But will it avail? Chad Baer has led a fair amount of laps today and has circled back to the front. Cameron Kane, Brad Kress, can't forget Jeremy Brown and Adam Bossy. A bunch of fast guys have gotten in the top 5. And how will this finish out?
Bear's been fast. If he keeps that car under him, I don't actually know if anyone can challenge. I mean, he's always ended up back up pretty much where he started. So even Bossy, he's had mistakes.
Oh, Dewey.
Please.
He kept it going.
He's good.
He's going to merge back onto the track. Was 5th. Now he's outside of the top 10. And then there's Cam Kane pancaking the wall. That's not a Homestead kiss. That is a Homestead slam to the outside wall, but surprisingly got a decent run. You can see the interval going down. I'm not going to recommend that line, but it actually gained him some time.
You never know what surprises might befit you around Homestead, Miami. They don't make tracks like this anymore.
Yeah, quite literally. They don't make the last oval track we had of this stature, Atlanta, turned into a quad oval. But actually, Cameron Kane is cooking up here on that top of the racetrack. Look at that battle graphic. There's a wiggle that will cost him a little bit, getting a little tiny bit of slipstream here at Homestead. Not a lot, but it is existing. And he drives in deep, drives into the wall. But he might be able to turn off of the wall and down the straightaway. It's just a matter, is he going to do the diver to the bottom and take the risk?
You know what? I called it for Chad Baer, and even that sounded like a commentator's curse, just because this is a fast car riding this wall.
That's too much.
Brad Press kind of in it too.
Yeah, that is that. So now we're at 2 laps to go. If we make it to the white, we make it to the checkers. If we can make it another 1.5 miles under green flag conditions, that's not a guarantee. Cameron Kane giving it everything he have in the wall. That's too much now. It looks like a battle for second. But Chad Baer, nobody is safe here, not even the leader.
I think we... Oh, I'm going to wait until we get it before I say anything about flags. I think we do get the white flag. I think we do get it. That makes one more lap.
1 lap to go here in the Sunset Drive 125, and Cameron Kane has drove right to the back bumper, and he's drove it into the wall. He's doing a pseudo wall ride. Chad Baer left the lane open for him. Is that a legal move? I don't know. He literally rode the wall to the lead, coming through turns 3 and 4. Last lap move at Miami. He puts himself in the wall again, but he has a massive advantage, massive lead. 37 Miller Lite. Cam Kane somehow wins at Miami.
What did I say about getting a great finish to tap off the day? That was legendary.
Legendary, yes. Legal, no, because I mean that looked like a Christopher Bell wall ride. I mean, it's illegal in NASCAR. Is it legal in triple bypass?
It slows you down so much in iRacing that, like, no. I mean, what is going on?
I mean, yeah, one more look at it here. He's in it, he's in it, he's in it, he's in it, he's in it. And then maybe center off. That's when he got off of it. But Chad Baer left the lane open. I mean, in the old DW, Mike Joy, have you ever?
Give it to him.
You're supposed to say, no, I've never, but I'll give it to you. It's not your cup of tea for the 2003 Darlington 400, but we'll take the end of the race. And Howie, did memory calculate for you the final caution count of our night?
I don't have it. Do you want me to guess it, or do you want me to look at it?
We'll just bust the pinata open. 16 cautions for 48 laps. So I'll let you do the back end analytics if the pace car did lead the most laps here today. I wouldn't find it too much surprising if that's the case. But let's go wrap up our show here, as we are probably in PTR TV overtime here, and the Golden Girls are looking to show here, except on the West Coast. But our race results as follows. Somehow Cameron Kane wins this race by 0.4 of a second over Chad Baer, and then Brad Kress in third, Adam Bossy fourth, Jeremy Brown in fifth, our race sponsor Caleb Brown in sixth, Trevor Mack in seventh, Adam Highline Shaw in eighth, Benson and Handlin rounding out the top 10.
Further on back, plenty of cars. We have got Carl Gresh. I mean, he was up at the top, but he struggled at the end. Made it to 11th. Matthew Acting in 12th. For Kyle Dewey, Jimmy McKee, Hugo Ortiz, Tyler Rellas, Keaton Crappers, Walker. I need to load it. McAnulty, Chris Graves, and Tex Nichols in 20th.
Literally, we have to load. We know what his name is, but we have to load it. It's so funny. John Naj Crutchley 21st, the boss man Al Corey 22nd, then Baxter, Kunman, Suarez, Dean Robinson, Mark Herzog, Zach Nerney, Sean Bradley. We're pretty sure Alta Ford I don't blame him. I know he's running a part-time schedule, and there's the last page of results. Just got the final word from the boss man. He said, just interview the winner, and we won't argue with the guy who pays the bills. So let's just pull up the lap lead. Was it just one? 2 weeks in a row here in triple bypass, the winner has just led one single lap. Cameron Kane, Corey, and Howie upstairs, you got us?
Yes, sir. How are you guys doing?
Well, we're glad that this thing is over. You guys probably feel the same way. It was 16 cautions here, utter survival, and back-to-back weeks here in TBP, the winner led one lap. You went full Chastain, so to speak, in 1 and 2, rode the fence, got the lead. How did you pull that off?
Yeah, well, I noticed the car seemed to really like to be up on the wall there, and you could kind of bounce it just right. Not wall ride, but definitely just, I don't know if it was an air cushion or what it was, but definitely slid my way through there.
Yeah,
it worked out.
I was going to say, is it legal? But if it's I mean, I don't know. It got you the win. That's all that matters. And you win races in interesting fashion. You won Atlanta in the closest finish in league history, and you lead it here today. Next week, we head to Bristol, a track that need I say anything else more about it? How do you take this win and take the confidence next week?
Yeah, well, definitely winning this, we're going to take the confidence to that. But Bristol's one of those tracks that puts me in an absolute blender, so we're gonna just see how that goes. Well, hopefully, we'll keep that one green.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could do 2 weeks of smoothies in a row, so hopefully we can evade some blenders, man. But any final words before we let you go and celebrate?
Appreciate you guys sticking it through. Y'all are the best.
All right, appreciate you, boss. Go celebrate.
Take care, buddy.
Well, that is our post-race show. The boss man said just to interview one, so that's all we did. Again, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, BRPTR TV. Stay tuned for the Tuesday race at the Mini Pocono, which, Howie, I believe you're going to be with me with because Brad is in his situation here. What's your final words before we wrap this one up?
A special award to our 2 0X drivers.
What?
Who on the lead lap 0X drivers, Jason Benson and Tex Nichols.
The boss, well, the sponsor of the series, 0X. So that is
no
where
DQs, by the way, 0.
So everyone pushed the envelope, but they didn't push it too far. But that is going to be Hori and Cowie signing out of the booth. Have a good night, and maybe we'll catch you next time.